Welcome to God Crimes Pod with Danny and Maya.
I am Danny.
And I'm Maya.
All right, y'all. So we got a pretty big update for you.
Big ol' update. Drum roll.
I actually remembered the name of the product that I was struggling to remember in the last episode. The time travel water is actually named Wayback Water.
And now we know it comes from the past. No more confusion. Way back. Not sure the process by which they get this water from the past. But anyways, continue.
Yes, I lost a few brain cells trying to figure out exactly what this man was talking about. But it is a real product, still available. You can go to waybackwater.com. And do you want to guess how much a single bottle of time travel water costs that touts miraculous benefits?
We'll give you a second.
It is an astounding $40.
For a whole 16.9 ounces, I mean, come on.
Pretty good deal.
It's gonna hydrate the heck out of you.
Gonna hydrate the heck right clean out of you. All right, and then for even more points.
Yes.
Do you want to guess how much a 24 pack is for this time travel water? Drum roll.
I don't know.
$600.
Oh my god. I mean, are there worse things to spend $600 on? I'm not even sure.
Almost certainly.
However, have we got news for you guys? We, God Crimes Pod, here for the first time only, introducing our very own God Crimes Pod Time Travel Water.
This is for the wise consumer that thinks that $600 is too much for a 24 pack and $40 is too much for a 16.9 ounce
Absolutely.
bottle.
We've got a much better deal for you. Only $30.
$30?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Or $590 for the 6-pack.
There's so much I could do with those $10. It's just incredible.
And one thing that's different about our product is that it has a guarantee. I don't think this other product has a guarantee. We guarantee that your water will travel forward in time from the time we ship it out to when it reaches your door.
That is the God Crimes Pod guarantee.
On today's episode, we are talking Armageddon. It's the end of the world. It's the end of the world as we know it. And I feel fine because I'm a Jehovah's Witness and I'm actually really excited. I've been looking forward to this my entire life.
That's right. We're going to be talking about the end times, and it's such an interesting topic. I feel like there's so many groups that have their own particular, blend of end times. It's a very seductive kind of idea,
yes.
And we're going to talk about the Jehovah's Witnesses' particular blend.
So what are you drinking today?
All right. So what I have here is a black cherry White Claw.
Yes.
All right. But there's a bit more to it than just that. So specifically, it is in a glass.
Yes.
And the reason for that is because I don't really like carbonation. I've never been a big bubble boy. Not a big bubble fan. So pro tip for any other bubble weaklings out there, here's what you want to do. You want to take a glass and you want to pour whatever carbonated drink that you want from a high height. And if you pour it real fast, it's going to foam up and it's going to dispense with a lot of that carbonation.
That's right, we get some dissipation going.
That's right. So that is my pro tip for the day. And what are you drinking?
I am drinking a Zevia zero sugar grape soda because I'm a dirty hippie who likes weird hippie beverages without sugar in them. But mine is extra carbonated because I like it when it burns. All right, so Danny, you have almost experienced the end of the world more times than me. I mean, I will
That's
say,
true.
I have never walked out my front door and thought, it's imminent, here we go. But you have, and I want you to tell me about that. I haven't heard all these stories.
All right, so the way that the witnesses work is you're really only kind of living week to week, kind of month to month. With the full expectation that the end of the world can break out at any time. And people live that, truly. Like, people talk about buying Armageddon cars. And what they mean by that is, I just need a little beater of a car that can run for a few months, until Armageddon gets here. There's no sense in investing in a very expensive modern car that's going to last for years and years and years because it's not necessary because Armageddon's coming. So that's kind of like the mindset that people have, right? So a couple of specific times that really leap out to me where like not just me, but like the people in like our little congregation like really felt that the end of the world was imminent were I think the first one I recall was 9/11, of course, the attack on the World Trade Centers. And the cult actually like went into overdrive to kick out a special like propaganda magazine surrounding the attack on the World Trade Centers to kind of capitalize on like the chaos and like trauma of the moment.
Yay! Using a tragedy
Yay.
for personal gain. Classic.
Hooray. And it is a thing that they have absolutely repeated. And I am excited to point out a later example because like it like told me, oh, this is the plan to like capitalize on tragedy, of course. But let's see. So another
Well,
instance.
and
Oh, yes.
so with 9/11, you had mentioned that their like one of their main compounds was in Brooklyn, right?
Yes, that's right. So they made a big deal in this special edition. I think it was like the of January 2002. I'm pretty sure it was an Awake magazine where that they kicked out in half the time that they normally do, where they said in there, like they were kind of doing a victory lap by stating, oh my gosh, like people that were running away from the plumes of smoke, like ran across, the Brooklyn Bridge, right to our little cult compound at headquarters in Brooklyn. Like they made a big deal of like the people that physically ran into the building to like escape.
Oh my.
Yeah. But like it was kind of jovial in tone, pretty weird. And yeah, of course, more of this is less about the content of the actual magazine and more like about the vibe that they were establishing and that people like in my immediate vicinity were experiencing.
Yeah, instead of like the shock and tragedy that the rest of us were feeling, it was kind of like, hey, look, told you so. Told you these terrible things were going to happen.
Absolutely. Yeah. That is the modus operandi. All right. So another time was around Y2K. As a young kid at the time, but all the kids like kind of knew enough that we were nervous about going from 1999 to 2000. And the scuttlebutt of the time was all the computers are going to like freak out and it's going to be like power outages. And it's a very, like the sense is that there would be some amount of logic applied to when the end of the world kicks off. And so when little things like Y2K happened, of course, cult people would kind of glob onto that and expect, oh, this could be it. Like, this is a very plausible reason for the kickoff. This is very exciting. And so I remember we had some babysitters that were very irresponsible with us as kids. And all of us climbed into a tree right basically for the new year. It was like almost like the act of celebrating New Year, but that's not what we were doing. Like what we were doing was just kind of like looking into the sky, being like, something gonna happen?
And did you have any imagination about what that thing might be that would happen? I mean, like, what was going on in your little mind then about like what maybe would happen if the end started?
All right. So the way it's supposed to go is there's the Great Tribulation. That's supposed to precede the actual end of the world event, Armageddon. But there had been like speculations that we may not have noticed when it actually started. So like by the time that we actually know what's going on, boom, Armageddon kicks in.
Got it.
So, but like I said, we were looking towards the sky because in all of the illustrations and the propaganda, it's always, again, Jesus wielding a sword over his head, riding a golden whitish horse, and like basically fire in the sky,
Yeah,
as they're charging towards the surface of the planet.
Wow. Yeah, we mentioned that in the last episode if you weren't there for it. The J-Dub's interpretation of Jesus is that he literally has like a blood vengeance. He is angry and he is out to get what's his. He is going to personally slaughter people. And I mean, one of my questions is, there's only one Jesus. So does he have like a hit list of people that he is specifically going to kill? Or like, do I have just as much of a chance of getting a personal Jesus blade to the chest as anybody else?
Excellent question. This is what people need to know. Let's see here.
You'd think with all his power, he'd have chosen really extra baddies that he's going to personally slaughter. But I don't know. I'm not sure that's in the writings.
Right. You would think it might be like violent, especially violent criminals first, maybe like serial killers or, just the worst of the worst. But not really, because all people that are not Jehovah's Witnesses are worthy of death and destruction.
All of us.
So,
yay.
Does Jesus make a list? Is it alphabetical? Is it based on crime? Like, is it first going to be all the murderers and then all of the very nice, like, hippie girls that are just out there living their own life?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Just having premarital sexy time.
Oh, my God. Jesus' blade, thirst for vengeance.
And so he's on this horse, which also implies sky horse.
Sky horse, correct.
Great. Does it have wings?
Oh my God. Okay, so I'm very excited about this because I'm actively trying to forget all this encyclopedic horse shit in my list. I don't think that they have wings. Like the angels have wings.
Got it.
But like Jesus and the angels are like riding horses in a lot of the literature.
Got it.
Yeah.
So we're dealing with like Santa's reindeer type magic here, No wings needed. However it works.
That's a great point,
They're
actually.
frolicking through the sky. I want to know who the first people are that they're targeting times, or if it is just like total carnage. What are they teaching?
They're teaching that it's total carnage. So there's not a lot of specifics on, okay, Jesus is going to visit these people and these people and these people in this order. It's more like, okay, you guys, don't forget, at this time, you're going to go down into your little basements and just, cover your little heads and like do your best to like not let the kids like hear what is going on just above your floorboards of all the chaos.
Wait, like there's a bomb shelter-esque plan?
Yeah, like they have a bunch of videos where they portray Jehovah's Witnesses like going into basements. So like a lot of times it's like basements of someone's homes or like the basement of the Kingdom Hall.
Oh my gosh.
The church building. Yeah. So it's kind of weird in the sense that I've had a lot of instances where I've heard people like really intensely imagine and describe like what's going to happen to the people that are not on God's side. And then there's also the side of like, oh, we're just going to go down to the basement and God is going to take care of everyone because they're so filthy and so disgusting. Like God doesn't want you to dirty your hands with the filth of, killing people in this world. He's going to leave that up to the governments to destroy themselves, and then a lot of stragglers or a lot of other people will be taken out by the angels.
And just to remind our listeners at home, this does include children and the elderly. Am I correct?
That is 100% correct.
Okay.
Yes, because a baby snake is still a snake in their telling.
Oh, is that like a
That's
thing?
the language that they use.
Oh my. Okay. Well, this is very frightening.
Yes, just anyone out there who like sees some witnesses at a grocery store or like, they're in town with a convention with their stupid little badges. Like, just remember, like, this is what's going through their mind actively. They're like, wow, I have this hidden knowledge that's going to keep me safe. All these people that I'm looking at, all these NPCs, they're going to be gone. They're going to be decimated, in a very short amount of time.
So I bumped into a couple Jehovah's Witnesses in Walmart the other day. Walmart, the place where all kinds of interactions take place.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember feeling incredibly uncomfortable. I could tell they didn't say that they were, but they were dressed like they'd just come from church. And really the only reason I knew that that's who I was talking to is because of the way that they treated me and the way that they looked at me. They were very polite, but they had this sense of, we are so much superior to you, and your life you're not really valuable. I could tell they were like, we have to treat you with kindness because that is what is expected of us, like in society. But I could tell that they just didn't care. There wasn't any actual, like, genuine connection at all, which is what you normally expect when you're having an interaction with another human being.
Absolutely. A lot of the interactions are pretty scripted. Like, they're of two minds about it. This is what a lot of cults do. So on the one hand, they want people to be like really super kind and really love bomby to anyone that they interact with. And then on the other hand, they're also supposed to think in the back of their mind, okay, like if they do not respond well to God's message, this person is doomed to destruction. And like I have to think ill of them. That way I don't have any desire to spend any time with them. And therefore not be exposed to anyone that's not in the community.
Yeah, because exposure to people outside of the community is a big no-no.
Huge no-no. Yeah, big rules against that.
So the J-Dubs are walking around looking at all of us sinners, God criminals, and they're imagining the future, the near future, where none of us exists anymore. What is that like when you're actually in the group?
All right, so an example of that is when Jehovah's Witnesses go out in their field ministry, which they refer to as field service. That's when they're walking around neighborhoods, knocking on doors, and trying to talk to people. So what will happen a lot of the time is some people will actually say the quiet part out loud of what they're thinking. And what they will say is, man, I can't wait for Armageddon to come because that's a really nice house and I think I'd like to live there. And so they are anticipating like Armageddon to come. So that way literally 99% of the population will be wiped out. And so that way they can have their pick of the nice house.
It is hard to wrap my mind around saying something like that. Like it was just so normalized within the group. You would have heard these concepts before you were even verbal, right?
Yep.
Like as a little child. So it's, some people I'm sure know not to say things like that because if any person on the street heard it, they'd go, wait, excuse me, what?
They'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah. But within the group, it's like, well, yeah, I mean, this is the reality that we're all working towards.
Yeah. A big part of it, isn't even just trying to contact new people for cult recruitment. A big part of the field service activity is to just get four believers together and like make them reinforce their own beliefs amongst each other. So when you're actively like taking action and like you're engaging in the belief, by walking around, spending your time on a Saturday, walking around, like regurgitating the things that you were told to say, that just reinforces, people's minds even further into the group.
I've never thought of it like that. That makes so much sense that obviously the goal is to recruit new people, but at the same time, just simply getting their own members more and more entrenched is also part of it.
It is a like yes and practice of just further entrenching their minds in the cult. And so people can kind of get a little bit wild with it, which is why like people will kind of get amped up enough to actually say the quiet part out loud. Like, man, I can't wait until everyone is dead. That way I can take that really nice house with the big shop in the 2-car garage.
Oh, man.
Up on the hill.
Do you remember when we were paddleboarding last summer by the rich people's lake houses?
Oh, my God.
I mean, it's so fun. I wouldn't think that because I don't want the rest of humanity to die a horrible death. But,
no.
You see a nice house, you go, hey, it'd be sure be nice if I could just move in there.
Yeah. It's like a fleeting thought, know, but these people like really indulge in the violent fantasy, well, or at least these people really indulge in the fantasy of taking up someone else's residence because they are just conveniently gone.
Because they're conveniently gone, yeah. So I want more details. I still have so many questions about, like, there's a lot of people on this planet. Like, how is this actually, what is the storyline that they're giving for how this is actually, and you mentioned Jesus and the myriads of angels. Is that, are there just enough angels? Like, does everyone get their own personal angel, like, to kill them? Give me more details.
Yes, instead of a guardian angel, it's more like everyone gets their own personal assassin angel.
Nice.
Yes.
So hardcore.
So the way it's supposed to go down is at some point in time after the Great Tribulation, after the declaration of peace and security, which are the words that all witnesses are looking for on the news, Jehovah's Witnesses will be pursued by all the governments somehow at the same time.
Got it.
And when they like start to get their hands like physically onto witnesses, or like their guns are raised or whatever, like someone is touching God's eyeball, boom, God is going to react, and like Armageddon will be kicking off in full swing.
Wait, like someone's touching God's eyeball? What?
Yes, that is their specific verbiage,
Like,
probably based on a scripture.
like putting his contact in, like, oh, I just touched my eye.
Yeah.
Really?
That
Okay.
yes. So when they attempt to put the unholy contact into God's eye by touching his holy people, God is gonna kick shit off.
Got it. Okay.
So now here's where it gets wild. So they specifically talk about like miraculous instances occurring that are greater than anything that has happened in the Bible up till that point. So they're like, all right, so you thought shit got wild with the splitting of the Red Sea. You know, you thought shit got wild when God made the sun stand still back in the Israelites' times. And like their conquest of the Holy Land, something like that. And you thought shit got wild, you know, with all the shit that Jesus did. So imagine that, but times like 100. So like there's going to be the wildest shit going on, like miraculous horrors, you know, that we can only imagine, and that only the people who are going to be killed will get to experience. Because again, all the witnesses are supposed to be huddled in their basements.
What? That seems really unfair.
I know.
You don't even get to see all the cool shit.
Okay, so as a witness, here's what it felt like to me. It felt like, oh, like all the cool, like miracle shit happened like way back in the day. And it was kind of lame, you know, like I'm pretty sure it was the Apostle Paul had a situation where an angel came down and like unlocked a gate for him to like just walk out of prison.
Bro, that's super lame.
That's a fucking lame miracle. But fine, you get to escape from prison, whatever. I guess I'd take it. All right.
Honestly,
I would give that miracle like 3 stars.
Oh
quite
my
honestly.
God.
2 maybe.
2 out of 5?
2 out of 5.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 out of 5.
Like, being teleported out would be way cooler. Or
That'd be
being like
yeah.
sucked through the ceiling, or like, I don't know, the gate opens, like a ghost could do that. Come on.
Yes. So
Anyways.
imagine my frustration when I'm like, all right, all the miracles of the Bible, they basically quit happening at a certain point, and like the explanation from the Watchtower was shrug emoji. We're not really sure why it stopped, but oh well. And then, but don't worry, you can look forward to like really crazy shit popping off, you know, at the end, because, you know, there will be miracles like have never been seen. But since we're good little boys and girls that listen and do what we're told, we're going to be tucked in a basement somewhere, not able to see like the miraculous shit that happens. But like honestly, something that I sincerely thought would happen would be like, okay, so the way that it's been described to me is Jehovah is going to do crazy ass miracles to like make people who oppose him understand, oh shit, A, God is real, and B, God is super pissed at us. And he's like so powerful, you know, he's just gonna like wipe us out. And like, oh boy, what a bad sinner I was, you know, not listening to Jehovah's Witnesses. So one of the things that like I fully expected to happen was like a gigantic hand, like the size of a continent, like grabbing the earth and like just scraping it with fingers, you know, and like creating, you know, like 4 or 5 mega Grand Canyons.
Do you realize where in your psyche you got this image from?
I'm not exactly sure. Probably
it was
a movie.
Obviously, Super Smash Brothers. The bad guy is a giant hand at the end, and he does that hand thing, and it's really hard to defeat.
Yes. Oh my God. I think we unintentionally unburied some of my.
I think we did too.
My trauma / imagination.
It's so scary, those hands at the end of Super Smash Bros. If you know what I'm talking about. But Yeah, okay. And this makes so much sense that as a little child, your imagination is running wild. And so I bet every kid growing up in this would have different versions of what you just said. Like, there's going to be a giant hand that comes down and, like, creates Grand Canyons. And
Yeah, they like weaponize your own imagination against yourself by being like, "Oh, we don't know what's gonna happen, but shit's gonna get fucking lit." Not word for word.
YOLO.
YOLO. But like they like ask you all the time to like really deeply imagine like what you think is gonna happen during the end times, and then also what you think is gonna happen with the new system of things after like the smoke and the smells of horrible things clear, you know. But yeah, so everyone is that was ever a witness is like pretty used to actively using their imagination.
But you really don't get to see any of this stuff. Like, they kind of make that clear. You just walk up out of the basement where you've been huddled for a day or two and everything's better. Like, the new system has come into place.
Yeah, legitimately. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's supposed to be like a day or two or like several days, you know. In my mind, I was like, probably like a good old 40 days, 40 nights, you know, similar thing with Noah or something. But yeah, supposed to walk on out of the basement, just like brush the dust off my shoulders and get to enjoying a paradise.
And still not having seen any of these miracles.
Yeah, bullshit. Absolute bullshit. I hate it.
Were you like grumpy about that?
I was actively grumpy about it because I was like, fuck, we missed all like the cool shit from the Bible. Inexplicably, no more miracles. And then with all the good stuff, gonna be locked in a basement. Damn it.
That sucks.
Yeah, pretty lame, if I'm being honest. I think the religion gets a 1-star review from me just for
seriously.
that. Yeah. It's all just made up. They could have let me see some cool miracles.
Exactly, 100%. I agree completely. And so, just to clarify, God's gonna like give all of the sinners, all the God criminals, as we like to call them.
God criminals, that's right, sinners.
All these miracles to say, like, look, I'm totally real, you totally suck. But then no one gets a second chance, right? Like, it's just like...
That is exactly...
That's that?
Correct. So, the way that God's mercy works, specifically in the end times, is once Armageddon starts, it's equivalent to the closing of the door on Noah's Ark.
So, no second chances. Lots of cool miracles, but why? Just so God can say, look how cool I am, you idiots, you should have listened to the J-dubs?
Holy shit, that is a really good summation of that, actually. Yeah. Okay, so you're exactly right. That the idea is once that door closes and when Armageddon kicks off, it was fuck you losers, sucks to suck, God's forgiveness, never heard of her, you're done, you're toast. And then even if you have like a last minute, like, oh shit, like I lived my entire life, never seen miracles or any evidence of a divine being, but now that there is like actual physical, you know, reliable and repeatable evidence of God's existence through miracles, still not good enough. God expects you to accept him wholesale, completely on faith, which means completely without evidence.
No evidence at all.
And then God is going to do a big-ass showboating display of miracles right before you die. Boom. And that's God's way.
And his mercy and his love.
It's what those dirty, dirty God criminals deserve.
Yes. It's very little kid on the playground-esque. That's what it makes me think of. Like, see how right I was, loser.
Yeah, it really, you know what? It's funny. It's almost like none of this shit makes any sense.
I'm gonna try to find the sense.
Oh, damn it. Yeah, it does feel like it's written by a 9-year-old. Like a very petty, jealous, 9-year-old. Like, that's funny.
I told you that this is what was gonna happen, and you said it wasn't. And see, it is totally what happened. And, like, you know, you don't get to have fun now, like, with me.
Yeah, it's like a 9-year-old, but with a gun and no impulse control whatsoever.
Yes.
Mm.
Welcome to America. Just kidding. So you've been giving me a really great overview of like kind of what's going to happen to the general population, like me and like you. Sorry to say, honey,
unfortunately,
you're not in the cool boys club anymore.
Nope.
So we have this to look forward to, as you said.
I'm staking my whole reputation on all of this being bullshit and made up.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. Yes. So I want to know more about like how individual groups of people are going to be treated. So like you mentioned something about like they really distrust government, right? They really dislike members of the government specifically.
Yeah. They really dislike members of the government specifically because they are a government. They are a theocratic government entity where they will be the ruling class and like God's going to be the dictator for life and Jesus his right-hand commando man, you know?
Got it.
But that's kind of why they dislike governments. And in their telling, the governments are going to be the ones to turn their attention or turn their guns on Jehovah's Witnesses.
Uh-huh.
And so that's why they really dislike them. So one thing that I've heard very specifically, there is... Oh God! I'm so happy that I'm forgetting this stuff. But
Congratulations!
Thank you so much. I think that means I'm doing better at life.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I believe it's based on a scripture where the military leaders will lose control of their bowels when God is, or Jesus, or whoever is riding in on them to take them out. And I heard this one elder. I know too many Teds, so I'm just going to say the last name, Fisher. So we'll just say that. We'll leave it at that. And this elder was talking about in depth how, like, just he was in full fantasy mode of like, oh my God, these dirty generals, they're going to turn their attention on God's people and just right at the last moment, like they will have just a moment of understanding. And right when they do, they're going to like shit their pants. And then God is going to kill him. And that was
Oh my God.
Yeah. Like it was like really fucking intense. And I remember it really coming out of nowhere at the time. So it was like doubly worse. It is literally all that they have. I kind of feel bad for people that have been in it like their entire lives. Cause like, again, most witnesses are in it because they're born into it and they just have never had an ability to escape. And it's like the only game that you get to play and like you want to get good at it and you want to advance in it, especially since you're in it for decades and decades. So yeah, people like elders that have been just in it for so long, all that they have to hold on to is like the fantasy of God's day of fiery judgment.
Yeah. And it reminds me a lot of the sunk cost fallacy. I feel like is really at play with this group, especially where the more time you spend in it, the more eagerly you're looking forward to all the things you've worked towards actually happening. Because if those things don't happen, what does that mean about the life you've spent in the group? So of course you're going to get more and more invested, or you're going to break down more as a person. So all the J-dubs are down in their basements, safe and sound, hopefully with their beans or whatever. I assume there's a lot of prepping going on, actually. I'm realizing.
That is a great question. Not really.
How are they going to survive 40 days and 40 nights in the bunker?
All right. Excellent question. So it's a couple of things. Number one, like they don't know exactly how long it's going to be. But number two, they only like recommend that people get like a bug out bag just for like surviving like disasters in this world, like hurricanes or power outages for a few days, you know, have your medication, have your whatever. But when it comes to like waiting out Armageddon, you know, and like, you know, it could be a long time to kill 99% of the people on planet Earth. Mm-hmm. That's a job, you know, and you can just never trust estimates when it comes to jobs, sort of things like this. Like it's always over, you know, way past due schedule, over budget, all these things. But basically they are fully expecting God to care for their needs.
Okay,
And so,
cool.
like, in my experience, they would reference like, oh, Jesus, who was passing out loaves of bread and fish, and he had these miraculous loaves of bread and fish, and they just kept on replicating. Or he was like a magician with a top hat, just able to pull out more crap out of it more constantly. So, and then they also reference like how God would provide manna to the Israelites, like basically like a bread-like substance would just like appear like in a field for the Israelites. So they're like, so God's got us. Like, we're not really gonna spend a lot of money on water filtration systems. Hopefully we don't have to drink our own pee. And probably God's gonna like take care of us. I mean, we are God's people after all.
It sounds like a lot of bread. I'm gonna be honest. As a gluten-free person, this concerns me. A
lot of empty calories.
Exactly. And honestly, I have to say, with the whole fish thing, like, were they just raw fish? Like, is he just throwing big old mackerels like at the crowd? Just like,
was it cooked fish?
Was it cooked? Because that would be nice.
I don't think so.
Like a nice cooked trout.
Cooked
with, like,
trout, wrap it up in foil, maybe.
Exactly.
Cook it over fire.
I don't
seasoning.
think that's what was happening.
No, just raw ass fish.
Honestly,
I think.
I don't really trust God with my post-apocalypse diet, but I guess I wouldn't have a choice. So.
Again, a lot of gluten in that bread, you would be screwed. Yeah, sorry about that.
Although, hold on, new body, maybe. All worldly problems fixed. Wait, what?
Not until the new system.
Get the hell out of here. I'm pissed.
Yeah. There's a lot to be pissed about with this, with this story.
Got it. Okay. Well, so thank you for answering those very specific questions I had about God diet.
You're welcome. Again, encyclopedic knowledge that is worthless anywhere else whatsoever. So it's really nice to be able to like get some of this out of my head.
So there's a lot of death. There's a lot of destruction. And my next question is like, what happens? Like, how does that get all cleaned up for you guys to enjoy? Is it a magical poof of God? Like, or does something else happen to help clean up the cities after all?
Like we alluded to last episode, God's plan to like literally cleanse the bodies from the surface of the ground is to have dogs eat them. We have a dog. I wouldn't feed her a body. That's terrible. I think God hates dogs.
Luna has to eat us?
Oh, that would be very sad.
That's so sad. She wouldn't want to do that.
She would not want to. Okay, Luna's not on board with this idea at all.
I don't think Luna is very religious.
God would have to create some very tasty treats to convince our pups to eat us.
I mean, that's just a terrible thing in general to imagine your own dog eating your dead body.
Oh my God. That's so funny because like when I would be sitting there in the Kingdom Hall and like I would hear this, I would think it's like just random dogs eating other people. But it makes so much more sense that it would likely be your own dog that eats you. Wow, I can't believe I never made that connection before.
The dogs trade and our dog eats the neighbors and their dog eats us. I mean, it's not much better that way.
I feel like Jehovah's Witnesses have not thought this out very, very thoroughly.
Well, welcome to God Crimes.
Welcome to God Crimes.
Think through these things.
Yes. So, yeah, doggies and then also birdies in their cosmology are also working overtime.
All birds?
All birds. So, like, really, imagine like a really cute little finch.
Aww.
Like a nice golden little finch
fluttering down on someone's face.
Yep.
Just going to town.
Just going to goddamn town. Again, poor birds.
Yeah,
that's not bird seed.
That's not bird food.
It's almost like God does not care about these animals. In this
that's
instance.
what it's sounding like.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yes, I know that everyone was killed in a horrible way, but this sounds kind of like animal cruelty.
Yes. And so anytime that God has an ill-conceived plan, we are reminded, remember, with all things, or excuse me, with God, all things are possible.
Got it.
Yes, it's a very good semantic stop sign. When you kind of like think through, like, wait a minute, that doesn't sound like a very good plan. With God, all things are possible.
Possible.
So that's the plan.
Okay, got it. Well, I'm sorry to Luna.
Sorry, doggy.
Yeah. this week's success story is going to come from our very own Danny again. But yeah, I'm just excited to keep celebrating. And again, we hope that this success story and all of our success stories are inspirational and also maybe remind you of people you know that have had similar successes. And please write in your stories. We have an email. It's godcrimespod@gmail.com. We
Yes,
want to
please.
hear your success stories. We're also totally open to crazy stories that you have experienced in high control groups yourself. If you're an XJ-dub or if you know family members, like, please send us your stories. We want them.
That's right. Well, a big goal with the podcast is kind of destigmatizing and normalizing people, like myself, that I would say metaphorically climbed Mount Everest, but their Mount Everest was, they started in the Grand Canyon and they just got to level ground.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is just as much of an ascent as, any comparable mountain that, like, we celebrate in normal society. But I really want to highlight people that were deeply entrenched in these ideologies that are just harmful and that are just self-serving to the people at the top. People that escape those things really should be revered.
Absolutely.
Is how I feel. That's absolutely how I feel in my heart for, like, my friends that are also XJ-dubs that have climbed out, from the depths and have become awesome normal people. So what I wanted to share today was I used to be a person who just kind of let life happen to them, right? Like, what we were doing was just waiting for the end of the world. And we, Jehovah's Witnesses, are not politically active whatsoever, and by explicitly. And they're just really not supposed to even be active in life for any cause that matters. People are just waiting for their lives to end so their real life can begin in the new system of things. Like, it's really, really sad.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, just like the rest of them, just living month to month, like just working dumb little jobs, buying a little Armageddon car for like $2,000 or whatever, just like something to make it maybe a year or whatever, and just living with no life plan whatsoever. And so when I was able to escape the ideology, I realized, oh shit, I'm going to be alive for hopefully a normal lifespan. And I should, for the very first time, have a plan that is beyond just like 2 months from my life. And so I decided, all right, well, important thing in life is to, like, get a good job. So why don't we just start there? And so I decided it was really important for me to go back to school. Well, go to, attend a college for the very first time. And I did it. I went to a local community college, worked my ass off. I was also working part-time in addition to going to school, just to kind of pay my way through it and do my best to avoid student loans. And I did it. I grinded. I really applied myself to school. And then not only that, but I also pursued extracurricular activities. I got to work on a legitimate NASA science project in atmospheric sciences.
Was so cool.
So cool. Hopefully I can share more about that at some point. But I did that while I was in school and had a great experience. Got to meet, like, educated people for the first time in my life, through my educational experience. I got to travel. I got to see the nation's capital and, like, talk to lawmakers about the importance of workforce development and, like, science activation. And then that turned into a little part-time job as well, where I got to actively do outreach and science communication. And it was a really great opportunity to deliberately work on, like, my speaking skills, because I wanted to do this. I wanted to be able to speak publicly about my experience. And I got to graduate, and then I knocked over an industry certification for IT, which was my field of choice. And I got an awesome job now.
Yeah, you did.
Like, I have a job that, pays unlike anything I ever worked in the past, just working menial gigs, basically, essentially. And like, I have, have like a 401k which I know nothing
Wow.
about, but I'm very excited to like learn more and like
Yeah.
have a plan, have like a life plan beyond just that 2 months. And so like for most people, it's like, oh, big fucking deal. It doesn't, it's like, oh, I'm just like becoming like a normal person essentially, who's
It
not just living,
matters.
month to month. But it really does matter. Like that was
Yes.
like climbing out of the ideology. Like that was my Mount Everest,
Yeah.
But of course, more like climbing out of the canyon to get to level ground. And I'm enormously proud of it. And let's see here.
You went to school as an adult too, which is a big deal. You went to college as in your 30s.
Mhm.
And I just want to say, like, as someone who's also pursuing, certification and more education in my 30s, it's so worth it. There's never a time where you're too old to better your life and to finally make choices. Like, I didn't grow up in a cult, but I did grow up with a lot of mental illness and a lot of trauma and a lot of things that meant that I didn't have support and I didn't have encouragement to go and pursue my dreams. And so, Danny, you inspire me, honestly. Like,
Oh, thank
seeing
you.
you go through your schooling and coming from it from such a past of that would never have been possible in a million years, in multiple God days, 1,000 years at a time. You never would have gotten an education and
Never.
gotten a great job and gotten to travel and work for NASA. Like, just all these little experiences. And it's been so enriching to my life as well to watch you do this, and been so inspiring to see someone that really, wasn't dealt a great hand make your way to a happy, fulfilling life. And you're just getting started. And it's really, really great to see.
Oh, thank you so much. I think my parting thought for the day will be I started out in a position where life was just happening to me, and I was just waiting for like my real life, quote unquote, to begin. And now I am I consider myself a lifelong learner. Like I'm very, very curious, and I'm continuously reading books. Had a little book club, trying to start that up again. But like even that in and of itself is a big deal, because any scrap of time that I had was I was forced to like read cult propaganda. I was forced to read books and magazines, and then the Bible for the worst book club in the world, which was church, right? And now I'm able to read other books as well, which is so much fun. Like I have the time and the appetite for it now. And just my parting thought, a great quote from this book that means a lot to me, which the question is asked, why do we educate our children? Why do we educate ourselves? And it is so we can participate in the transformation of the world, which is so worthwhile. And I was a person that never would have done that in a million years. And now I am a person that cares about our world and cares about issues and people and our planets and the ecosystem. And I really, really have the desire to leave this little world a little bit better for my having been in it.
And you are already. Well, thank you again for sharing all of this. I mean, like we said, we are taking your childhood trauma and repackaging it.
That's right. For the content.
For the content. And hopefully to inspire others. And so we love you. We're so grateful that you're here listening with us. And coming up on our next episode, we are going to transition from the underground bunker of Armageddon into Paradise Earth and the new system.
The new system of things.
Ooh,
Supposed to be very good and
of
nice.
things, like they added
The
that.
new system of things.
They couldn't just say the new system.
They shorten it to that sometimes, but
they needed better branding. Anyways,
Yeah.
I could have helped them, but happily I'm not going to.
yay!
Yeah, so can't wait to have you all back for that. We're gonna find out, just how great things are gonna get for all of us. Golly gee, woohoo!
That's right.
All right, we will see you next week. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for listening.